Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We are the Real Pineapple. This is Hunter here, and I'm here with Scott. Scott, how you doing, sir?
So good. Love podding with you, bro.
Oh, dude, likewise. I wish we were talking about a better movie, but so I must throw a bit of a shout out here. I talk shit about Microsoft all the time, especially for their operating systems. But I got word because I'm actually gonna post my first. You can check this out on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm actually gonna post my first article on there. Why Jessica Jones is the most important thing Marvel has done so far. So I'm gonna post that this weekend.
Is there already a link for me to give that a thumbs down?
Shut up. But, you're a dick. But saying all that though, it's cool because Word, there's actually a mobile version of Word, so I'm using that to take notes in and all that in the theater. And
everyone is loving you for it.
Trust me, there's no one in this fucking movie. So
no, seriously though, I feel like there's a certain extent to where you can kind of cover up your phone, because I have had to take notes on my phone before.
Yeah,
and I mean, you turn the brightness all the way down, and
yeah, of course.
A lot of these, like the theater I go to, there's not very many people in there on a nightly basis, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah, like I'm not a monster. I mean, come on, but I gotta take movies for cinematic adventures like this. To paraphrase Dane Cook, this movie blows. Let's just get that out of the way. We're talking about the Emoji movie.
Oh boy, man, we're going butt heads on this one.
And I doubt it. This movie is. So I was talking.
What movie is this, Hunter?
We're talking about the Emoji movie. So I was talking to someone about this summer. For this summer, the highs for me: War for the Planet of the Apes, Baby Driver, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Wonder Woman. The highs have been fantastic, but there may not be a summer in recent memory where the lows have been so low. I mean, Snatched, Transformers, King Arthur, Alien Covenant, Emoji movie. I'm like, god damn it, just the lows are horribly low. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Scott, I was 10 minutes into this, I wanted to leave.
Yeah. It took a lot for me, especially like in this third act, to stay in my seat, because not only was like I kind of had to go to the bathroom, and like my butt was starting to fall asleep, so I was like shifting around, and like I was just overall uncomfortable, and the movie, like, that didn't help me like not try to leave that theater, because the movie itself was like very, very hard to watch. Like it was like forcing me out of the theater. It's like it's okay, you can leave, you're not gonna miss anything, you don't even know what's gonna happen in this movie. Like you're really not missing anything like significant in your life by leaving this movie. It was like calling me towards the exits. But yeah, I think it's probably been a good year. There's nothing I've seen this year so far that's made me want to leave a theater like this one has.
Really? So Transformers was that for me. I think Transformers is the only movie this year that's made me want to leave like this one did, because
I mean, I would even argue that like there's actually action in that. There's however shitty that action is, like there's action. There's like things happening and explosions, and because I'm a guy and I love explosions and chicks and Mark Wahlberg, like that at least could visually stimulate you. You know what I'm saying? This movie is like this is like Gods of Egypt.
But okay, keep in mind though, this is only 86 minutes. Transformers is 2.5 hours.
Okay,
so
fair enough. Okay, yeah,
I
understand. Yeah, okay. The urge to leave in that one, I guess I would argue is still there, but like this, I was like, you're saying 10 minutes in. I was interested in seeing, actually, I wanted to give it a chance and see how the plot played out and see what actually this was about, and how they were going to try to make this work. And then once you figure out what this is all working towards and what the plot is and what these characters that you're supposed to be attached to, then it just becomes really like sad and disappointing.
I'll tell you right now, I was trying to give this a chance. So there's a short that plays before this called Puppy.
The Transylvania one.
And
like, I thought that. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was the movie. I thought I walked into the wrong movie because I walked into this movie like a good 10 minutes late, and usually like when you walk in that late, that's like perfect timing. That's when the movie starts. I'm like, uh-oh, did I just walk into an Adam Sandler movie just now? Is this some sort of sick joke? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I got more laughs out of that short than I did this movie. I'm gonna tell you.
I mean, that's saying something. That's really saying something.
Because look, I loved the first Hotel Transylvania. The second one is not great, but
you hated the second one,
dude. I did. I thought the second one it was pretty much like every other Adam Sandler movie. But I mean, at least they have a cute puppy. There was something, I'll tell you right now, the hardest laugh I got in that short is when he's training a dog. He's like, sit, like roll over, sit, roll over, shake, and then he says speak, and the dog actually talks. I'm gonna tell you right now, I laughed my ass off at that. I mean, it's a cheap joke, and full disclosure, there are buildings in Chicago. There are skyscrapers in Chicago. They're not as high as I was watching this movie because I was trying to give the Emoji Movie every chance because I didn't want to walk out. So, Scott, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I laughed really hard at that. I know it's a dumb joke, but I was dying. But I digress. For me, Scott, the moment they said the name of the city was Texopolis, I went, okay. I'm like, not a great start.
And that's probably 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah, that's 5 minutes, and I went, Jesus.
That's the introduction of they're setting the scene. And when the movie starts to set the scene, and then you really begin to get like nervous about what this movie is gonna be centered around. I mean, like, okay, it's called the Emoji Movie, right? Like, there's a general understanding of what this movie is gonna be about, but the way that they describe it, how there's just a bunch of these emojis in someone's phone that live out their lives until they're ready to be used, basically, is like kind of a sick, twisted, like, way to come up with this like very boring plot. And that was really, really hard to watch. I mean, it centers around the main character, Gene, who plays Meh, who is played by T.J. Miller, voiced by T.J. Miller.
Okay, so I gotta jump in here. So I know T.J. Miller just left Silicon Valley. I'm telling you right now, dude, if this is the shit you're gonna be doing post Silicon Valley, you better crawl your ass back to HBO and be like, I am sorry, I will do whatever you need me to do, because T.J. Miller, we always kind of give him shit for playing the same character. He could not have given less of a fuck with his voice acting in this. He was not trying worth a goddamn. And I'm going to be honest with you, Scott, that genuinely kind of pissed me off because you're getting paid to do this. And yes, it's the Emoji Movie, but he didn't give a damn. I felt James Corden was actually trying to be as high five.
Yeah, because I feel like, this is like his only acting chance. He's like, oh, I gotta get on this. Like, gotta get out of the talk show spotlight. Yeah, the voice acting was definitely like low on my list of things that I hated about this movie, I would say. Like, just the mere fact of the character being the meh emoji, like, because so basically his parents are also meh emoji, obviously, because that's the way shit works, right? And they were like the most boring. Like, I get it, like they're supposed to be like apathetic and not really give a shit about anything, and that's just like that because they're emojis and they only stick to one specific emotion, right? But like they were probably one of the worst parts of this movie for me because they cut to them so many times and they were there throughout the entire movie, and the movie just slowed to a crawl. Like literally, like when they came onto the screen, it's like, can we just like keep this going and maybe have some things happen and not get dragged down by these depressing icons? Like sorry, one of the many things that bugged me about this movie. I could go on.
So this is basically Inside Out mixed with Wreck-It Ralph, but if you took out all the charm and the jokes and the humor, like everything that made those movies, watchable. Because I'll tell you right now, I think I got maybe maybe okay, probably 4 chuckles and maybe 2 laughs. One of the laughs, surprisingly, was by the poop emoji played by Sir Patrick Stewart. Which,
Yeah, that was a wild kind of a start thing there.
so they're talking. So like at the very beginning, they're talking to the poop emoji, and he's like talking to his son, and he goes, "We're number two. We're number two." I laughed really hard at that. I mean, it's a dumb joke, but I'm grasping for straws, man. So I laughed really hard at that. And then the other one I think I laughed at is when they go to this bar after they escape the cell phone, whatever, fuck, it doesn't matter. They escape their realm that they're trapped, like the Emoji City, Textopolis, good God. They escape there and they go out to like the open other parts of the cell phone, and they meet trolls, and high five, James Corden's character goes, "Oh, they're trolls, like, they'll stop being trolls once they have, find like a girlfriend or purpose in their life." I laughed really fucking hard at that. I was like, okay, I appreciate a good internet trolls joke, but I just want to throw a couple of my notes out here. TJ Miller could give a fuck, could so give a fuck. That's what I have written here. There's a joke, they bump into a nose, and then he's like, "Hey, nosebleed," and I just went, like, so that really, really made my eyes roll. The way that these companies let the Emoji Movie use their apps, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. A Dropbox.
No, wait, no. They were paying for that shit. This whole movie was a spot. It was an advertisement.
I don't care.
The whole movie.
They should all be ashamed of it. Dropbox especially, because Dropbox is basically the main plot. Is the main kind of plot point.
They were in like Candy Crush for a bit and Spotify.
Oh,
and
I'm
Just
getting
Dance.
to them. I'm getting to them too.
It was so blatant and like is this what this whole movie was about? Where they just whoever produced this thing was just money hungry or something? I don't even get how they were able to get these kind of actors. James Corden, Anna Faris, Maya Rudolph, Patrick Stewart, like Sofia Vergara. Those are not like lesser known names, let alone for this B grade. We'll get to that. List movie that you can pull these kind of voice. I mean, granted, they are voice actors. Maybe you don't have to pay them that much. It felt like they're really just trying to bank a bunch of money off of it, which is silly because it was a shitty movie. And why would you make such a horrible movie if you're going to try to make some money?
The last thing I'll say before I kind of throw it back to you is there's this dance they do in Just Dance, by the way, which I just, good God. So they get into the Just Dance app and oh God, so they're doing a dance and what's his name, Gene starts doing this thing called the like emoji bop or some shit like that, and all I was thinking, Scott, I was thinking of you and Colin watching Norm of the North and seeing him do the Norman, and I just started laughing so hard in that theater because I had that flashback of, oh God, I remember seeing this in another really shitty animated movie, and I wanted to stop watching it when I saw it back then, and so it's like, the emoji, it's like, do the emoji, and that's midway through the movie, and in the last part of the movie, it's all the emojis doing the emoji dance. I went, good God, you are shameless. There's a couple dance numbers in here that are just really dumb. And just to go through another couple of jokes here, the hacker played by Anna Faris is actually named Jailbreak, which I just went, good God, you're not even trying. They just, they introduce a firewall, which is actually a wall fire. Sure. There's a Bye Felicia joke in here, and I'll be honest with you, I about walked out on that. God, what else here? So the thing is with Gene, TJ Miller's character, his whole purpose is that he's supposed to be, just the meh emoji, but he can make other emoji faces, and so that's what, makes him so special, and that's why Maya Rudolph's Smiler is wanting to go ahead and just wipe him out with antivirus, which I thought was kind of fucked up, but in a way I went, this movie's at least giving me that one thing, because I was just grasping for fucking straws, but, So all the emojis, are trapped in boxes. So like an actual box, like when you click on your phone, huh? Get it, Scott? And so he basically fucks up and destroys all the boxes or whatever. And so there's never a point I liked Gene, if that makes sense. Like he just always seemed kind of douchey to me. And yeah, kind of your thoughts on that.
I don't know if I would say douchey is the right word, but I feel like he was super generic. Yeah, like you're saying, his special power is that he can be basically he has every emotion, and in Textopolis, like you're valued because you can play that one emotion, and then whenever the user picks you, like you have that they cut to you and you've got that emoji ready. So basically that's why he's not valuable, is because he fucked up and he did all these random emotions, and Maya Rudolph's character Smiler was like, no, we gotta kill you because you're a malfunction. So basically, like, they're trying really hard to tie in this whole, oh, you're just a unique individual, and like you're just don't try to categorize yourself as one emoji because you're like a lot of emojis. There's also the users that are involved is like these high school freshmen, and like their whole interaction together is through text and like emoji. This whole movie is actually quite sad, and they kind of like highlight it throughout the movie that people's as technology is advancing and people's only interactions are through their phones. Like, wow, damn, like that hits home. That hurts a little.
I gotta be honest with you. I couldn't agree with you more, because I'll tell you, like I was talking to one of my friends about today, how dating is so difficult because people just kind of look at a message and go, I'll respond to it whenever. And so, this kid's kind of freaking out with this crush he has. And I went, oh, son, I understand why you're freaking out. I mean, I wish this wasn't a better movie.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like the basis around this movie is people being on their phones so much that the smiley faces that they select to send people text messages now have their own plot. Like that, like if you really think about it, that's kind of fucked up. That we value that so much. Anyways, off my soapbox.
No, it's true. Yeah.
But so he's malfunction, right? He's unique, and he ends up like falling in love with Anna Faris's character, Jailbreak, basically because they're emojis and they fall in love with each other. That's just the way it goes. I actually didn't mind Jailbreak. She was fine. High Five was okay too, but like the whole movie felt rushed to a point where, you know how like in Zootopia where every little thing was there to mimic a part of human interaction, and like so like the sloth was at the DMV, and like the big water buffalo was the police officer. Like this, I feel like it was so rushed that they didn't think about the physical logistics of all this. Like everyone had feet, right? But like they were just emojis, and like some of them, like they had to be one emotion the whole time, but some of them weren't. So it was like kind of confusing in that way, where the movie didn't really gel together from beginning to end in a way that like I would say something like Zootopia did, which is completely out of its league, like way out of its league. But yeah, they, like you were saying before with the Bye Felicia thing, they try to do a lot of like really hip, cool references, like hashtag blessed.
Oh God, they do that.
Yeah, and like just like just like really topical slang. There's when they were in the Spotify app, they were writing waves of songs, of like popular songs, and
like the catchiest pop songs. Like,
yeah, exactly. So it just felt like one big advertisement, like the whole thing. I was trying to figure out. I was waiting for the moment when they showed like an iPhone or like a Samsung this or that, or like I was waiting for them to zoom out to the phone and it be like sponsored by Apple. You know what I mean? And the way that they like them jumping from app to app was really like, that's why I felt rushed, because like there's no fluidity, there's no like, they kind of like making up on the spot. That's what it completely felt like. And like because they were physically run like an app is a box on the phone.
Yeah.
And they are emojis, like physical little beings in the phone that like can run from one box app to the other box app. And like when you get into it, then like you are in that app and you can see things in that app, obviously. But like they had to get from the message app to the Dropbox app, which led to the cloud. That was kind of the end goal. Spoiler. So
exactly.
one of the ways to get there is they took Spotify and they like fucking rode these rapids of songs down, which was like, I would say, somewhat creative. Like,
I agree.
Some of the things that they encountered, like, I think were fairly creative. It's just that like it was so poorly put together, and the basis for all of this was like very shoddy, that it was completely unbelievable, and it left you questioning things like, so why didn't they just run down the phone just to get to the Dropbox? Why did they have to surf through these Spotify songs and go through these weird tunnels? And like obviously they're trying to create a plot and action and things that happen, but like they're trying to create something that like shouldn't even be there. Like they were just, man, they were really trying to stretch this thing. Like it felt like someone was like, okay, what if somebody made an emoji movie? What would that look like? And people just fucking spitballing on what they would do and like who they were. This would completely felt like. I really don't want to know how much they spent on this movie, because I feel like it was $50 million. I mean, that's not a whole lot, but yeah, I mean, opening weekend $25.6 million. So they're halfway there, but hopefully that's not enough for them to try to make another one, because this was really hard to finish. Very, very hard. I would say one of the hardest of this year. Although when I walked out of it, oddly enough, I wasn't angry. I wasn't pissed off at it. I was just anxious to leave. Like it was even like, okay, you know, in some kids movies where there's a bunch of kids in there with you and they're laughing at stupid jokes and like they're just having a good time because they get to be at the movies and they're watching this like funny movie with people making fart jokes and, you know, throwing poop or whatever, you know, like they're silly stuff's going on. In this movie, I could probably see 20 or so people, parents with their children, you know, side note, felt very creepy. But none of them were laughing. Like nobody, like there were a couple parts where the parents were kind of laughing about it because they understood. Excuse me, but none of the kids were laughing like through any of it. There might have been a few giggles, but I think that says a lot about a movie like this where you can't even cater to children.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, if you follow me on Instagram, or not on Instagram, on Facebook and Twitter, which you should follow me on Twitter, I posted earlier. If you hate Adrian Peterson, you hate him because he abuses kid. If you take your kids to see the Emoji movie, you're no better than Adrian Peterson, and I stand by that. I think this movie
hot
sucks.
take right there.
I think this movie sucks in a way. I went in with the lowest of expectations, and I know they have the high five, emoji. If I could hand out an emoji for this, it would be my middle finger. I fucking hate this movie. I don't know if I hate it more than Transformers. I think I hate Transformers more just because it was longer. But goddamn, this is gonna be high on the worst of list. I couldn't believe how bad this movie was.
And it was only an hour and 26 minutes. Like that says volumes about how unbearable this thing is.
Yeah, it's just, god damn it, man. I was so upset leaving that theater. And Scott, this is why I put in that same that same category as Transformers. Because when I went to go see Transformers, I got high as a kite. I had some barbecue. I gave Transformers every chance to make me not hate it, and I just walked to that theater wanting to slap someone in the face, and I had the exact same feeling leaving the Emoji movie. It's like, god damn, you guys had $50 million. You couldn't have hired 3 punch-up writers to write a couple decent fucking jokes outside of like the 3 or 4 I chuckled at. This sucks, and I'm gonna give Patrick Stewart some of a pass here because he was in Logan earlier in the year.
He was not bad in this movie. Like he was the best part of this movie easily.
Oh, by far. And honestly, he delivered his lines in a way that I did laugh. I went, okay, but he only has what, 6
like
lines?
2 lines. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, he's under 10 lines easily. Because all the stuff that he said is what I laughed at. I laughed, like I said, about 6 times. So yeah, he's definitely under 10 lines here, and I'm sure he made a good amount of money. Hey, good for him. As far as I'm concerned, you heard it here. I think Patrick Stewart's going to get a Best Supporting Actor nomination. You heard it here first. I truly think he's going to for Logan.
I thought you were going to say for the Emoji movie.
Oh,
like,
no,
what?
Come on. No, Jesus, come on. I would hope you'd know me better than that. And yeah, so you heard it here, and just something that irritated me as far as casting. They had Sofia Vergara as Flamenca. She was like the dancing Latina doll, like whatever that they have in there. I just thought, god damn, of course it's Sofia Vergara. Go fuck yourself. This is a go fuck yourself to the highest degree. God damn, fuck. This movie's so bad. And the thing is, there was just no reason to make this. They could have made this a direct-to-DVD movie and just spared us. But no, they just had to put this out for wide goddamn release. And you're right, it's only 86 minutes. It felt like easily 105 minutes. This felt about 25 minutes longer to me. Hate this. So, yeah, go fuck yourself. Scott, go ahead.
So the kind of climax of this movie is what it's all building towards is because I keep forgetting his name, Gene, because Gene is a malfunction, and because he's being chased around by this malware or whatever, this virus that a lot of the users apps are like acting up. And music is going off, and people are making fun of him because he's had some music playing. And like, hey, well, you're an idiot because your phone went off.
I know, what a loser.
Seriously, you'll kill yourself.
Whoa. No, we don't need any more Linkin Parks, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
You've been waiting for that one, haven't you?
I was, yeah, go ahead.
So basically, the climax of this movie is that, like, because all this stuff is going on his phone, he takes it to the Apple store, and like he wants everything deleted. That's the big thing, because people do that, right? You're like,
they do.
Hey, this phone is like fucking with me. Let's just delete it. Like, fuck
Very
this
true.
phone. Let's destroy every piece of data on this thing. That's cool, right? So basically, everything is being deleted, and a last ditch effort is for Gene to redeem himself, and like. So what he does, instead of doing one emotion, he does like a few, and it turns out that like that's what the user sends to like the chick he wants to fuck, and then they get together and he asks her to dance. Like that's what this is all leading to. Is this kid, this freshman in high school, asking this other girl to a dance. Like that's what this entire movie is leading up to. And it's like, why should I care about what these emojis are doing and what these characters are doing if that is the end goal? It was such a slap in the face to me that like these emojis sent this to him and they saved the day. And like, oh man, that was such a fuck you to me personally.
Can I just say real quick before you give your rating? The fact that emoji, he has not said shit to this girl, and literally that emoji, that is all it takes for her to go, yeah, I'll go to dance with you. That's when I went, okay, yeah, this is go fuck herself.
Well, yeah, and that, so like okay, that played on the other, like it alluded to the beginning of the movie when Gene messes up on his first day and he sends an emoji that looks really weird, and like so the user accidentally sent that instead of like a meh. And then she was like, "Oh, that's weird." So like that's the beginning of this movie, and then flash forward to what we're talking about with this new like hybrid monster of an emoji, and sends it to her, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" Like that's some. I don't know if you want to be with that girl if that's really what gets her going. I don't know. That's like it.
In high school, you would want to be with that girl. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but that just ties into my whole theme of this being a sad ass movie, because that's the only way you can get a girl now is to send her this fucked up emoji, and she'll be like, "Oh my god, he must like me. Let's go to the dance together. Or how about maybe I suck his dick on the way back?"
Yeah, I always send the eggplant, baby. Always send the eggplant.
The product placement. There we go. All the product placement really bothered me. Like they really forced that down your throat. You can tell these people paid to be in this movie. Like, oh, we're an app. This is our time to shine. Like Candy Crush advertises so much that it doesn't surprise me at all that they're in this movie. Just Dance was like a bit of a question mark there, and then Dropbox, and like that was their way to the cloud. Like, hey, listen, we'll pay extra money if we're the last app that they go to, and that's like Nirvana essentially is the way to the iCloud, like because the cloud is there's like 1,000 virgins there, and you want to spend the rest of your life there. Yeah, it's the product placement was over the top, super obvious. Just another reason to hate this movie. It was definitely I wrote down pure torture on here.
Damn.
And that's how it felt, because I feel like I wasted an hour and a half that I probably could have been doing something productive. But
oh god,
I will say
that
I didn't give it the worst grade possible.
You son of a bitch. Well, now you have. If I could pick emoji, it would be the sad emoji.
If I could pick emoji, it would be the poop emoji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
Explain
that's
yourself.
what accurately describes this movie. I'm going to give this movie an F.
Oh.
And the only reason is because I wasn't so much angry, because I felt like I was expecting a horrible movie, and that's what I got. Now, like, it was more the fact that how much I wanted to leave. Take it what you will. But that's what I got to. I got to an F. So I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. I would never want to see this again. Wouldn't want to see it on TBS or FX. I wouldn't want to wish this on my worst enemy. Although, well, that might be pretty effective. I got to give it an F.
I don't get you, man. All right, that's fair. I mean, as long as, at least you didn't give like a D minus. I was gonna say, if you didn't give it at least
I'm not
an
an animal.
Okay, I would have been fucking furious, but yeah, this just, God help me, man. It's just what scares me about this is that this could do well enough overseas to warrant a sequel, and that scares the shit out of me. So I'm telling you right now, don't take your kid to see this. Wonder Woman doesn't have that much violence or language. Take them to go see Wonder Woman. Take them to see what else is out for kids? Take them to go see Baby Driver. Why not? Why not? Take them to see anything but this, because this movie does not deserve your hard-earned money. God, take them to go see Spider-Man.
There you go.
Yeah, Despicable Me 3 is still playing. That's not great. So let's take them to go see Spider-Man again. Like, let's make Spidey more money. But yeah, this movie, goddamn, this is really bad. But
it definitely makes me more angry talking about it. Like, I feel like a lot of pent up frustration is coming out right now. So I think if I were to change it to a Go Fuck Yourself, I don't think I would be angry. But I gotta stick to my guns on this one.
Oh God, you have me so excited. Oh, you're such a tease. I had hearts in my eyes, and then you made me sad again.
Don't.
So what? You don't like the
No.
emoji reference?
I just already had to sit through that movie. I don't need you to remind me of all the emojis.
Come on, Scott. Room for one more. Give it a go fuck yourself.
I'm set.
All right, fair enough. But guys, have you seen? Were you unfortunate enough to see the Emoji movie? I think it's at an 8%. I believe is what is that? Yeah, 8%, which is about 7% higher than it should be. But it was at 0%. I think up until Thursday
Was it
night.
really? Wow.
Yeah, but a couple terrible critics came through and saved it, which is unfortunate. Those critics should be ashamed themselves. But yeah, so let us know what you thought in the comments below. Follow us here on SoundCloud at The Real Pineapple 775. Find us on Podbean at The Real Pineapple. Follow us now on iTunes as well through the podcast app at The Real Pineapple. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. And you can follow Scott on Twitter at
Newman the First.
and you can follow our bud Colin on Twitter at The Real O'Neill. When you're on iTunes, guys, go ahead and give us a star rating, hopefully 5 stars. Leave a comment. Let us know how we can improve and everything. We want to go ahead and make this for you guys, and we love doing this. So let us know what you're thinking of the show. We will have reviews up this weekend for Detroit, which I'm so pumped for Detroit. We'll have a review up as well for The Dark Tower and Season 1 of Stranger Things, and we will talk the Stranger Things Season 2 trailer, because I have not watched it yet, because I want no spoilers. But guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.